Hi, welcome back. Well, let's take a look. 9-8. So, all morning until just recently, I have been in control mode. We just got to keep it working that way. It was 9-4, 9-6. So, we'll see where it goes. I've started to get some more blue again in the middle here, around 9 to 10. Had none at all. So that's awesome. I didn't have any basal rate. I took insulin with breakfast, and I still went up a bit. But I'm not peaking like before. I'm not dropping like I did before. So it's kind of like my body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Time and range, we're still looking good. 94% in range. These two number match. 6% above. And I'm still at 8.3. I dropped a point. I dropped 0.1. So that's still good. I'll take that average sugar. I do feel better. And you know what? I'm actually able to feel more like working. Getting these videos out than I did prior. Today I want to discuss keeping things quiet. You'll have to exactly see what we're going to discuss. We'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, keeping it quiet is when people feel like they're under pressure not to let anyone else know they're diabetic. And kudos for them if they're perfectly under control and they don't have to worry about anything. For most of us, that's not the situation. You are going to have to let your employer know. There are certain jobs that you may not be able to do realistically. However, each case should be treated individually. I don't believe in blanket sort of statements that are going to say, oh, well, we can't count on you. Because they may not be able to count on me, but the next diabetic who comes along shouldn't have to deal with what I've had to deal with over the year. It's asinine, really. And therefore, we always seem to have to feel like, or some have to, feel like we have to keep it quiet because it could mess up promotion. We could be fired. And I keep thinking, no, because if that was the case, we'd be fired a long time ago. The only position that they might have to find different position, or you may think, is like things like airline pilots, truck drivers, police officers. But on the whole, other jobs you shouldn't have to really worry about you completing your duties. And being told, oh, well, we can't hire you because you're a diabetic. We need someone we can count on. That doesn't seem right, and it shouldn't sound right to you. I was hired at my position for years before I decided I wanted to move up into management. I went to my boss at the time and said, I'd like to start working towards being an assistant manager. He blatant stepped down and said, well, you're a diabetic. I need someone I can count to be here all the time. And I said to him, once I was off because I had a severe cold. Well, you see, I can't count on you. And I said, no, I don't think you can do that. Well, it's my store. I can do what I want. And I said, first of all, you're in charge of running the store. It's not your store. It's the corporation store. And I believe that the corporation doesn't believe in harassment, doesn't believe in saying that I can't be promoted because I've been here every day, I've completed my work, I haven't been written up. So all of a sudden, if you start writing me up because I want to move ahead, then that's a problem. I'm going to go get the other sales associate and to hear our discussion. Oh, no. And furthermore, I'm going to go to HR. I called HR and I said, I need to be transferred out of that location. He didn't stay too long. So, you have a right to fulfill your dreams or whatever you want to be within the company you're working for. You being a diabetic, unless it's a total safety issue, doesn't mean anything. You should not be able to be called and say, I can't be promoted because I'm a diabetic. I can never get more responsibility because I'm a diabetic, which isn't my fault to begin with. I'm also not doing brain surgery. But some people feel intimidated with this and feel like they have to keep it quiet. You shouldn't have to be quiet. So I've always said this: someone in your that you're working with, or someone else in the office, has to know you are a diabetic, because if something happens, then that could be an issue. We pray that something won't happen, but if it does, you know what? No, we need someone there who can help you. Now, why do we always feel? Because we feel that we are going to be looked on, that we are feeble, we are broken. First of all, you're not feeble and you're not broken. You need to be aware of what your duties are. You need to do your duties to the best of your ability. If you can't do your duties, then you need to say, hey, I think I'm going to step away from this position. It sounds like it should all be pure, nice and easy, but it doesn't always work that way. And keeping yourself ready for work, and again, I'm going to say those magical words again, keeping yourself in control, or as close to control as you can get. Another reason why you sort of have to keep your employer in the loop is because of special accommodation. If you're having days of high blood sugar and you require more restroom breaks, they have to be more accommodating to allow you these conveniences. Special accommodations can be if you require more sick time off. Okay. But you need to be aware and not be so belligerent. Oh, well, yeah, see, I can take as much time as all I want. No, you can't. But if you've had a severe low blood sugar the day before, the next day, I would totally be out to lunch. And I'd call in and say, I've had the low blood sugar. I don't think I can make my shift. And it was pretty well, yeah, okay, wonderful. So, you should be able to talk to your immediate supervisor and your HR representative and letting them know. I've had a few minor hiccups along the way. One, I was working for a optical place, and my briefcase, which was just normal, got knocked over and a syringe fell out, and the person called up immediately to HR and said blah blah blah, and HR, oh my god, they had to call my boss and their boss, and it was, I mean, yes, you have to write an apology letter to that individual because you have to, because you utilized, we're using needles on site, and they should be locked up in your locker. And I said, no, they were in my briefcase. Luckily, I had spoken it over with my direct supervisor, so by the time it got down to them, it wasn't an issue anymore. But again, it's you're guilty. We found the evidence, you're guilty. Didn't even bother asking before telling us that, oh, you're going to have to write this letter of apology. You're going to have to speak with them, with a member of our HR team there. You know? And I think there was some other politics going on at the store level, but keeping your immediate superiors knowing that you do have type 1 diabetes is important. However, knowing that you can do something and being told you can't just because you have diabetes isn't acceptable whatsoever. And therefore, if it ever happens to you, you need to be ready. You need to keep your blood sugars always within reason. If you get sick or an infection, you take care of it. It's important for you and your life. You shouldn't always have to be kept at the low man on the or low person on the totem pole because they believe something might happen to you. Think about it. Talk to your immediate superiors. Let someone else on the team know that you are a diabetic. And with that, have a super day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.